So this is the bend in the, so somewhere along here is the bend in the Dauntsey Brook. Um, I put the Old English in here, I've completely forgotten it. And there's a field full of ridge and furrow, which is a blast. You'll see in the remnants, obviously this has been pasture for some time, it's in the remnants of a Middle Ages or post-medieval field ploughing. But this is the boundary heads off in that direction, and it is what do they call it? Dauntsey. No, I've forgotten it, but I'll put it in the I'll put it in text on the end of it on this screen. This is we're now on the Ridgeway. We know the charter said that it says something like the Old English for Ridgeway is Ridgeway. So wonderful language. Spelt differently, but there you go. But we know this is the Ridgeway because there's a Ridgeway farm back there. Anyway, we're heading into Dauntsey now. So that archway is obviously the big house. That's a pretty, well, calls it rectory. That's pretty as well. But yeah, the ride goes obviously up to that arch. There's a church there as well. So I find it interesting. The ride goes right the way through medieval ploughing. So it shows social change over generations. So this river is the Owena, which is the Avon, and when the Germanic ancestors of the English came here, they asked the locals, obviously, like they did, the English did all over the world, what's this called? They said river, and they said, I name this the River, and that's why there are so many Avons in England. Is because Avon is the Welsh name for river. So anyway, I'm going to try and find the path and head back up to Braddon, Stoke, whatever it is. I'm getting the Old English and Modern English mixed up. So as I was saying at the beginning, I'm reading a book called The English Resistance. We've all heard of, Battle of Hastings, and then apart from Hereward the Wake, up in Norfolk somewhere, we've got no tradition, no understanding. We all think it was all over. William came, made his castles, and England came to an end as an English thing. And this book goes into detail. So William the Conqueror, he appoints a leader for the north, an earl, I think for Bamborough Castle. He goes up there, they wine and dine him, and then they chop his head off. And I think it's somebody called Wulfric, Oswulf. I'm sure people have known about it. They would have thanked you for your service 1,000 years ago. And down in Exeter, they told William to sod off. And of course there was a peace party within the city. We brought it all to an end. There was also some people from the Welsh marches, and some of the Welsh helped as well. Malcolm of Scotland helped. The Danish didn't really help, but it's interesting that they were doing an insurgency and they were relying on outside help. They could harry and undermine the French, the Normans, but couldn't kick them out. But it's interesting that they were relying on the Danes and outside help, Danes to come and help them to kick because there had been with the Danelaw, there had been, and Canute was Scandinavian, so there had been an Anglo-Scandinavian England, but so it would have been more acceptable to them than a French Norman kingdom, but the Danish didn't help all that much. It was well worth reading. I recommend it. I had wondered before, did they really just cave in? And it seems they didn't. By the end of it, there was not one. Over the Anglo-Saxon period, some people had managed to take themselves away from vassal status and become, free people with their own land, their possessions. And as soon as William came along, they were all vassals. And by the end of it, there's only one or two landholders who were actually English in Norman England. So anyway. So I'm coming back to the motorway. I've done a fair few miles now, and judging by the landscape, so there is a dike, not just a ditch, but a dike named in the charter. Grundy couldn't necessarily find it. Well, he wasn't sure where the boundary went. It crossed the dike, so I found it. So. Citizen science 1, academics 0. And there's also what I spotted, which is quite obvious to me, is that right next to the big house, next to the church, there are cottage platforms. So we've got a shrunken village. They've moved the villagers probably down to there where I just showed some footage of the school. So that's interesting. The fact that the church is up there with the uh, with the cottage platform suggests that that is the original village, which is on the boundary, and there is an island there you can see on the map, so that probably is Dauntsey. Oh, right, I'm exhausted. I've just climbed back up that hill. I missed my turning, so I was going to come back a slightly different way, then come back to Dauntsey Lock and just walk up this hill. The hill is a bit steeper than I remember driving up here. Anyway, we're coming back up to the edge, Le Edger. I don't know why we've gone into French, and then back into Stoke, and that's your lot. There's one more thing I want to do, but I'm tired. I may not be able to do it, but if I don't, I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you on the next one. Remember to subscribe and comment and all the rest of it. Ta-da for now.